Up next on Wingspan. Wait, where am I? Who the hell are you?
Greetings, Earthling. Take us to your leader.
Not just procrastination, alien procrastination. Get it? Plus, the one thing I learned that has changed my world when it comes to putting things off. Also, bonjour les étudiants. Bonjour les étudiants. Bonjour les... C'est tout, plus de téléphone portable à l'école. Translation? Kids in all of France just lost their smartphone privileges during school. In a segment I like to call Now Enlightened, well, how are they supposed to cheat on tests now? Well, bonjour, audience. I'm really bad at French. Got to take some of that Rosetta Stone. In fact, and this is not a plug for it's called the Las Vegas Clark Library District, or the Clark Las Vegas Library, one of the two. Anyway, if you have a library card here in Clark County, things like Rosetta Stone are free. Yeah, absolutely free. Lynda.com, free. And what else? Oh, I just signed up for a class on there. I'm going to take a class on how to be a consultant, which is kind of funny because I'm already a consultant in one of my side businesses, but, the other side business, I've only got two. But I figured just take a class, see what you can learn. There's a bunch of classes on there. So if you don't have a library card, you're an idiot. All right, so get this. I believe in synchronicity. Because why wouldn't you? When you say something and then, turn around the next day and something happens. It's just kind of weird, right? Well, this happens a lot, and it's happened a lot more now that I'm a life coach. So I'm trying to decide last week whether to continue and do this podcast, because here's the thing. I knew this was going to happen. I'm just make it 15 minutes. It doesn't have to be anything big. You don't have to go over the top with production. And then I get all these ideas running around in my head. And so I actually had to tape the big portion of this week's podcast ahead of time because I knew how much work it was going to take, and I didn't want to spend all that time on Sunday night, which it is not right now because I'm actually doing this Saturday night, so I don't have to do it tomorrow, which is Sunday, but that's the night before the podcast. I hope you just followed along with all that. The point of it was, I knew this was going to happen. I knew I was going to start a podcast, and I'm going to keep going and going and going, and before you know it, this thing's going to be an hour long. Well, I can tell you that all that production that I did today, which, I know you're listening to this on Monday or whenever. You know what? You just get it, right? So anyway, all that production I did, it was only 5 minutes long. But it took 3 hours. Man. So the point of my tangent was I just hope that it's not going to turn into an hour-long podcast because I kind of like the 15-minute thing, although it could go 20, so we'll just leave it in that range. Anyway, the point, again, before I got on my tangent, was talking about the synchronicity and how this keeps happening a lot after I graduated from my life coaching school. So, and I don't know why. So ready, last week, I put this podcast out and trying to figure out if I want to do it. And then I get, it's called an initial contact, somebody contacts me about life coaching. And the whole premise is this person perhaps wants to start a podcast. But I don't think this person actually heard my podcast, which I'm this is so weird. How is it literally I put this podcast out and then a day later somebody calls me about wanting to start a podcast and want some coaching around that. So you know what? I'm down. If this podcast is going to get more life coaching clients, I don't know how to say then right on in French, but right on. Because here's the thing. I like life coaching. Not necessarily because of the extra money, but that's always great, right? But it's really awesome getting to help people and just showing them things, because that's kind of part of my calling. I think I'm an angel. I really got to learn French. Actually, this is probably a good time to introduce the new co-host who will appear from time to time. Why don't I just ask her? Alexa, how do you say French? How do you say angel in French?
French, I'm saying, how do you say angel? In French is. Français, je veux dire, comment dites-vous ange?
Can't she figure out that that's not what I really want to say in French? She has no idea that would be whatever. Alexa, how do you say angel in French?
Angel in French is. Ange.
I should have known that it would be that easy of a word. Anyway, so yeah, you're going to hear, I have to whisper and say Alexa. That way she doesn't hear me. But you'll hear her from time to time. Alright, so the big topic of today is procrastination. So, procrastination, it can kind of come in, forms. Okay, fine. I didn't prepare anything for today, but it wasn't my fault, I swear to God. You see, what had happened was I was outside. I was doing my a power walk for like 25, 35, 40 minutes, and I was on my way back home. In fact, I was in a super good mood. I was going to come back and work on the podcast. And so anyway, I was walking and... Man, this ice cream is fantastic. So glad I bought 2 of them. Good thinking. Good thinking. Finally, a nice day out, too. It's not too hot. It's not humid. It's not raining. Can't trust a damn thing that comes out of those meteorologists' mouths. What is that? What is that?
Get out of the road, you moron. You can't just run out in the street wherever you want.
Oh, get over it, Grandpa. Make one little mistake. You can't just drive all over the road. Wherever you... Never mind. Now, where was I? Anyway, what... Oh, whatever, Grandpa. What is that? It's like... This can't be the sun. It's too bright. It's getting even brighter. Oh, crap. Wait, you should really say that out loud so someone can help you. Oh, crap. No, not that. Help! Wait, where am I? Who the hell are you?
Greetings, Earthling. Take us to your leader.
Oh yeah, 'cause it's that easy. You don't just walk up to a house like that and ring the bell.
Your attitude is starting to annoy the others. What aliens want, aliens get. Take us to your leader.
Well, how the hell am I gonna do that? Alright, think. Okay, so it's been like a really, long abduction here. Do you mind if I use the bathroom real quick?
You Earthlings in your bladder. It's down the hall, 44 doors on the right.
Alright, great. I'll be back in no time. Well, this is just freaking fantastic. This is how I'm going to die, aliens. Can life ever just go my way for 5 minutes? Man, such a long walk to the bathroom. Ugh. When's the last time they cleaned this place? Where are we, 32? Wait, what? Alien theater department? This ship is big enough for a theater? What are you, like gay cruise ships of flying saucers? This is great! I could probably pull this off. I don't know how, but I just might. I hope there's a wig in there. Ugh, the door's locked. Think. Space Alexa, how do I get into the theater department? What's the code?
2572.
Alright, 2572. Well, maybe it's my lucky day. I can't believe this worked. What? Wow. Of course the choir would be practicing. The aliens have a choir? Well, they have a theater department. Why wouldn't they have a choir? Will you focus? Alright, wigs. Ooh, right over there. Yeah, I can't even make this stuff up. Not even kidding. So that's part of the reason, for the procrastination and not being able to do it. But the story gets better, I swear. So I'm in the dressing room, right? And I'm just finding makeup. I'm finding everything I need. And then it's the moment of truth. I go back down the hall where I've got to confront the alien and, take them to their leader. I hope this works. Oh, hey, kids. Oh, Mike tells me you wanted to see me.
Who the hell are you?
Oh, that's cute, you guys. Oh.
No, seriously, who the hell are you?
Well, it's Cher, If I could turn back to home. I mean, are they serious? How are they not getting this?
Well, that Mike is a moron. We wanted him to take us to his leader, not Cher.
Oh, you meant Donald Trump. Oops. That wasn't in my head voice, was it?
Hey, wait a minute. You're not Cher. You're Mike. Nice try. Now we're going to have to kill you.
No, come on, you guys. Come on, look. I'm just I'm just an average guy down on Earth. I just recently became a life coach. I got certified. I just want to help people. I'm just trying to do a podcast.
Wait, you're a life coach?
Yeah, it's like a person who helps out other.
I know what a life coach is, silly. I'm an extraterrestrial coach, and also a new frontiers coach.
Wait, aliens can be like alien coaches? You have coaching up here?
Oh yes, and you should be thankful that your certification requirements are nothing like ours. Anyway, sorry for the trouble. Back to Earth you go, unharmed.
Oh, wait, I just had a question. Yeah, so the crowd went nuts. I can't believe I pulled off an entire Cher concert dressed up as her. But listen, when you say take me to your leader, I mean the leader of the gays is Cher. I mean, you gotta be more specific. Wait, what? Oh, we're back on? You guys aren't playing any of the charade, are you? Well, fine. I got a little sidetracked this week. But I did manage to throw something together when it comes to, procrastination. So here's the thing. When I was in life coaching class, there was like this 1 month in there. I don't remember which month it was, but like I couldn't bring myself to do anything. Like I was not falling behind in the reading per se, but I wasn't necessarily doing what I needed to do to get everything done on time. And so this is why I'm convinced that when you go to life coaching school, it's not because you necessarily, well, it's because you want to be a life coach and help people out, but it's because you probably need life coaching yourself. Here's what I learned. This is going to change your world, I hope. Don't do anything for more than 15 minutes. I know. Now you're probably thinking like, well, if I'm at my desk and I'm doing work, do it for 15 minutes. Then get up and find something else to do for a few minutes. Or in my case, my big thing was I was trying to get this website built, www.MikeDoriaLife.com, before the end of class. Because basically it was one of my SMART goals, that I wanted to finish the website before the end of class, which I thought was really smart. Not that that's what it means by SMART goal, but whatever. Because, I figured, well, I have the support here and people in the class, and if I have any questions or whatever, I can just get it all done now instead of after class when, you're not going to be in session anymore, whatever. So, I don't know, when that concept, I'm like, wait, just all I have to do is spend 15 minutes on it and then do something else. And listen, here's the thing, because I usually go like, oh, well, I've got to get this done, let's spend the whole day on it, you know what I mean? And then nothing else gets done, and that's when I start getting overwhelmed. And then I'm like, forget it, I'm just not doing anything, and I procrastinate. 15-minute chunks. That's all you have to do. And if you can figure out how to do that in 15-minute chunks and get an entire project done, go for it, because you're not going to get bored. You know that you only have to work on it for 15 minutes. Boom. So that's how I kind of have done everything now. I just kind of do it in 15 minutes. Even this podcast. I don't want you to think I sit here all in one take and just ramble on about stuff. But I also found this online, and I'm sure some of you heard it before. It's Stephen Covey's chart for time management, and it's really simple. So if you have a pen and paper handy, great. If you don't, well, it's not that hard. But it's basically 4 squares, right? So in the first square, it says important and urgent. In the square next to it, it says important, not urgent. In the square below the first one, it says urgent but important, and then the final square, unimportant, not urgent, right? So basically with any task that you have to do, just follow these squares and put everything into a category. Is it important and urgent? That means it's got to get done right now. Like if you were to get into, well, this is a horrible example, but it's the first one that came to mind. Like if you got into a car accident, right? You're not going to call the tow truck tomorrow. Or you're not going to call the tow truck 3 days from now. You're going to call the tow truck probably right away if you needed to have your car towed, right? So urgent and important. All right, so in the important, not urgent squares, those are things that, again, are still important, but they're not urgent. It means they don't need our time right away, but we need to be thinking about them. So that could be anything from exercising to maintain your health. It could be, thinking about your career plans. Like maybe you eventually want to change jobs in the next 6 months. Well, it's not urgent, right? It doesn't have to be done right away, but you have to start thinking about it, so it's important. So things like that. All right, and then you have in the third quadrant the urgent but unimportant. So the example there would be like, all right, you know how you've heard that thing, lack of preparation on your part does not constitute an emergency on mine. So you get a call at work or you get an email I need these right away, I forgot to ask for them. Well, now I've got to give up what I'm doing to make sure that you have what you need. But these are the things that you're supposed to minimize and get away from, just push them out of your life or whatever. But I don't know how you do that. You know what I mean? Because there's always going to be somebody calling up frantic. And you know what? I'll just readily admit, I work at 2 o'clock in the morning, so there are plenty of times where I'm on the phone with my producer I totally forgot to print my scripts. Can you email me a copy? and that pulls them away from what they're doing. But, that's life. And then finally, unimportant, not urgent. Do I really need to explain this one? It's unimportant, and it's not urgent. But here's the thing. There was an example given on this one, and it says, mindless web browsing. First of all, any kind of internet research, we'll call it, is not mindless, and it is pretty important, because how do you think, I find material for my podcast, or just examples on anything, or, like how to do anything in life. For example, my car one day, the stick shift would not move out of, it's not a stick shift, but it's like the shifter. It wouldn't move out of, park to go into reverse. So finally, thank goodness I had my iPhone there. I looked up on YouTube and they said, stick a screwdriver in this little hole that's right next to it, and then boom. I walk across the street to Target. Thank God Target was across the street. I get the screwdriver, I come back, and it works. So it wasn't mindless web browsing. Granted, that was more urgent and important, but still, I don't like mindless web browsing on there because I think people should. And those people that, they'll text you back and they're like, hey, we're all going to, Pete's Shish Kebab tonight, right? Like, great, what time? 7. Great. Where is Pete's Shish Kebab? Like, why don't you just plug it into Google? You know what I mean? Like, stop wasting my time. You have the interwebs. Use it, right? So anyway, the point is, with these squares, just divide up your week and figure out what's important, what's not important, what can wait. Figure out some time around it. But the important things, if it's a longer project, or even if it's a shorter one, 15 minutes, that's my trick. You can't get bored. And I tested this out. It worked. I finished that website, by the way. And, all right, no, I didn't. I didn't finish it completely, but there was a reason. The only thing I held off on was the SEO keywords, because I had to wait until after class to schedule the marketing call with my instructor. So I've done that, and now it's done. So, there. All right, in this week's Now Enlightened, so the country of France has decided that it is going to ban smartphones from schools. And we're not just talking, some schools. It's basically all primary schools. And then in high schools, they're leaving it up to the teachers or the staff or the administration to figure out how they want to do that. But the reason that they're doing this is because apparently they've just become too distracting. France, you gave us a giant statue that we managed to put in the harbor near New York. It's on Liberty Island, and that's very distracting. But we didn't get rid of it. We didn't say it's off limits, or we didn't hide it for the entire school day. We left it up there, and we made a tourist attraction out of it. We've renovated it. We gave you smartphones, not to ban. I mean, think about it. How are kids going to cheat, first of all? Just kidding. But more importantly, you've made us a giant statue. Did it ever dawn on you that there are things you can buy, this iPhone cubby, where it's just like this thing you hang up on the wall and it's got little pockets in it, and each kid's assigned a slot, and they put their iPhone or smartphone in that until the end of class. You don't have to ban phones for the entire school day. I mean, really? Come on. I would talk longer, but I've got a call. So there, Now Enlightened, friends. And hopefully some of you are too, with this ridiculous podcast that I put together, Wingspan, the imperfect angel of a podcast. Anyway, that's all the time for this episode. As always, follow me on all the social media channels. Most of them are Mike Doria Life. If you need coaching, I'm so happy to try and offer help. Just get in touch with me, Mike at MikeDoriaLife.com, and we will chat. And I'm also looking for more people to subscribe to the newsletter that's coming up, but it's not an annoying newsletter. It's only going to be 4 times a year plus once at Christmas, so really 5. And Covey's Time Management Squares, I will put a copy of that up on my website. It'll be below this week's podcast episode that you can download. And next week, we have a special guest. He's awesome, and I'm not going to give it away, so you'll just have to wait until next week. Again, Mike at MikeDoriaLife.com. If you need to get in touch with me about coaching, we'll see you next week.